Another day, another road accident, which is now the bane of the Kenyan roads that have this time seen 2 lives snuffed out too soon.
"23 people who were traveling in this bus died on the spot and 34 others sustained serious injuries."
A bus en route to Lodwar lost control, rolling several times before landing in this ravine 150 meters from the road.
Watu walikuwa wengi kwa sababu kuna wengine walikuwa wanasimama pia, wengine walikuwa wamekaa kwa hii.
Three people, including the driver of this truck, died on the spot in the crash that involved 5 vehicles.
So far watu 6 wamekufa. 4 bado wako trapped kwa kanta hii ambayo imelaliwa na container.
Their journey was cut short and 11 lives were lost in a 3-vehicle accident.
Juu ingine itaki kushindwa, ilikuwa inahepa pro box.
The statistics sum it all up. Death is a traveler's constant companion on Kenyan roads. The last year alone, road accidents have claimed more than 3,000 lives. Thousands more that survived death bear the lifelong burden of permanent disability.
Had a head-on collision with a car that was trying to overtake at a place it should not have been overtaking. So I was injured as another car hit us from behind as well.
Whether through a private car or public transport, a journeyman's life is on the edge once on Kenya's busiest roads. But the bulk of the statistics rest on public transport column, where nearly daily accidents cut short many lives.
Everybody is losing. I don't think there's any owner of a public service vehicle who wishes to wake up to find his vehicle written off and all his passengers dead. I don't think any of them wake up with that intention.
October 2013 remains an unforgettable month. On the 24th, 9 people were killed in yet another Ntulele accident. The next day, 7 people died in a Kiambu accident. By end of the month, 12 others died in Nairobi, adding to the grim statistics. Between January and December 2013, 3,148 people died. That's an average of 8 people per day. The deadliest accident was in August 2013 when 41 people died along the Nairobi-Narok Road. The black spots have been mapped, with the Maimahiu-Narok Road at Ntulele being the most notorious. Nakuru Highway is also a big contributor to the number of casualties, with Salga accounting for most deaths. Nairobi-Mombasa Highway is another killer road, and Salama is classified, among other areas, as a deadly area. The other area is the Meru-Maua Road. Pockets of accidents have also been reported in many parts of the country, and in all these accidents, there seems to be a pattern of causes. The story of road accidents can be told from the highways. They can also be told by the survivors of such accidents. While dead men tell no tales, to paint the picture of what happens on the highways, you need to visit a police station. And one such police station is where we are. Here is a Salama police station, and in here we have counted about 10 trucks. And while we cannot authoritatively state who was on the wrong or what caused such accident, we can say that most of these accidents are caused by head-on collisions. An almost accurate picture of the aftermath of an accident, especially where public service vehicles are involved. Mass number of casualties, ripped off roofs, dislodged seats and broken metal are some of the constant characteristics of the accident. But this is usually the end. Where it begins is the key to understanding road carnage.
6 people have died and 3 others have sustained serious injuries.
Another week, another gory accident.
17 people died on the spot and several others are
critically... Salga Trading Center that happened at around 11 p.m. The buses were heading to Nairobi and one of them reportedly attempted to overtake the other.
Could it therefore be that these death traps are engineered to kill right from the factory?
The next solution is to have people vetted, especially the bodybuilders. You have people who are credible, because some people will go for it for the money so that they save on the structural design in terms of the materials they are using and the costs of manufacture. But if the regulation is in, so that we have people regulated in terms of what kind, the standards they are supposed to give in terms of transport, that would really help.
%90 of all road accidents reported are attributed to human error. They could have been avoided, they can be avoided, yet they happened. In July last year, 14 students and their teachers lost their lives in yet another tragic accident. That accident, in the eyes of the engineers, could have been avoided if only a little care was taken. Hours after it happened, we were off to Kisii. We spoke to the survivors and visited the road.
Kwa ukweli hali ilikuwa imejaa sana. Tulikuwa tunakaliana, mimi mwenyewe nilikuwa nimesimama wakati ajali ilikuwa inatokea.
Ilikuwa wewe ukiwa upande ule, ulikuwa umesimama karibu na mwenzako ama umesimama peke yako?
Nilikuwa nimesimama karibu na mwenzangu nikishikilia hiyo chuma ya juu.
Dereva alikuwa anaendesha kasi ama namna gani? Na walimu wenu hawakumwambia wazuie ama ilikuwaje?
Mwalimu Mr. Makoli mwenye ni saini marehemu alijaribu kumwambia dereva gari inaenda kwa kasi, lakini dereva hakusikia. Aliendesha kwa kasi mpaka ajali ilipotokea.
Wakati basi ilianguka, mimi nilipata niko nje, niko damu tu. Sasa kutoka hapo sikuona, nikajipata kwa hosi.
Hata sijui nilitokaje kwa hii gari na hii gari iko hivyo. Yenyewe ni Mungu aliniokoa.
Overloading, human error, speeding, and challenging terrain were the contributing factors that proved deadly in this accident. So how does overloading affect the performance of a vehicle?
Remember, the braking is also directly proportional to the surface that is touching the ground. So if the weight is more, that means your tires, you require more tires so that you can have more grip onto the road. So your gripping onto the road is compromised. So the weight is proportional to the gripping distance, the gripping surface on the road. Yeah. So more weight requires more tires so that you can have more grip onto the road. So weight also increases the chances of losing control.
The other assertion was that the driver was speeding. Combined with overweight and challenging terrain, this bus was headed straight for disaster. And what if the bus was carrying its capacity? Well, it will perform optimally. Less pressure of weight on the braking system, better handling and control by the driver. But say the accident still happened with the right number of passengers on board, all strapped in their seats, While the number of casualties will no doubt be minimal, most of those who perished were either standing or sharing seats and were thrown out during the impact. On the Killer Road, we sought to establish how much it is of a challenge to drive on the sharp bends downhill. Our driver could not push the car beyond 40 kilometers per hour. Very few people live to tell the story, especially those with the key to the events preceding the accident, that is, the drivers and the conductors. But the wreckage always holds the vital clues. Working backwards with engineers, NTV reconstructed events around some of the major accidents that have occurred on our country roads. August 29, 2013, a Homa Bay County-bound bus set off from Nairobi a few minutes after 10 p.m. On board are 85 passengers, 34 more than its carrying capacity. The bus is also loaded with luggage, significantly driving up the weight of the bus. Sitting somewhere in the middle of the cabin is Benta Akinyi, together with her husband and 2 children. The bus hits the road, driving through Maimahiu Road, headed to Narok, and Benta falls asleep. Less than 2 hours into the journey, the bus comes to a tragic stop. Benta and her 2 daughters are among the 44 survivors.
Mimi niliona tu hiyo gari ni kama ilikuwa overload, labda kwa butu walikuwa wameweka mzigo mingi sana juu gari ikikimbia ilikuwa inakaa ina swim hivyo.
Hiyo weight ya watu ili turn to the right na ndio ikasukuma basi ikaiagusha, na that impact inawarusha mbele, alafu gari bado iko in motion ikawarusha mbele, ikarusha watu mbele, ikawarusha on the right na ikawarusha mbele.
Exceeding the weight capacity is one of the major factors contributing to road accidents, and this is why.
You have compromised the braking system. You have compromised for example, now the control, because now where you are, the position in which you are putting the car in, you're not able to even maneuver the car, because of the weight, there are corners you can't take. You can't take sharp corners. So to avoid an oncoming vehicle, it is totally difficult.
But those are not the only reasons contributing to the high death toll on our roads. Without a doubt, this was a perfect bus by all standards, built by one of the top bodybuilding companies in the country, Kenya Coach Industries. But they seal the fate of pupils and teachers. Unlike in most accidents involving buses, the roof usually comes off. The question we will be asking, was this a structural failure or there is more than meets the eye?